After 2 matches of the 2024-25 season, the EFL Championship is well underway, and we're getting a good idea of what we can expect throughout this season. So ahead of match day 3, I'm picking out 5 of the 12 matches that are on this weekend that we should be looking out for. 5 of the most interesting matches in my opinion. And we'll start with the early game of these, the Friday night match, Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United. Both sides having a very mixed start to the season. Wednesday, of course, resoundingly beating Plymouth on the opening day 4-0, but then losing 4-0 in the second match day against Sunderland. Leeds United have, by contrast, drawn both of their games, surprisingly not managing to beat Portsmouth at home and just playing a bit of a disappointing game against West Brom as well last match day. Daniel Farke's men have lost a lot of key players through this summer transfer window. They sold many more players than what they were hoping for, no doubt. So they're a bit of a depleted squad right now. Wednesday, some mixed form. It's kind of hard to predict what they're going to do, which one's going to turn up, but I'm going to sit on the fence for this one. I'm going to go for another draw for Leeds. 3 draws to start the season. Who would have predicted that? Unbeaten though, that's something you could say. But I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. I think this is going to be a pretty drab game at Hillsborough, something that the home fans, in my opinion at least, are probably used to watching by now. But anyway, let's move on. Next up, I've got Watford against Derby County. Now, Watford are one of just 3 sides in the Championship to have won both of their opening matches. Surprisingly so, given how pessimistic their fans were heading into this season. Derby County lost their opening game, but they won last match day, so they're a bit of a hard one to predict, really. Watford are doing better than what they should be doing, but they should probably have enough to beat Derby at home. So I'm going to go for Watford winning. I'm going to go for a tight game. I'm going to go for 2-1, my favourite scoreline, but I'm going to go for Watford to win this one and make the 3 wins out of 3 to start the season, something that nobody would have seen coming, but knowing my predictions, it probably won't happen. Next up, I've got Preston North End against Luton Town. Now, I've picked this one out because Luton have struggled in truth so far this season. I mean, not too bad of an away draw against Portsmouth, holding on with 10 men for so long, but the fact that they were down to 10 men is not a good sign, and obviously they were resoundingly beaten at home on the opening day of the season by Burnley. Preston, meanwhile, they're near the bottom of the table. They are one of the 3 sides with 0 points, nil points to start the season. They'll also become the first team in EFL history, I believe, to have 3 different managers for their 3 opening games, because they've hired Paul Heckingbottom after sacking Ryan Lowe and then sacking their caretaker manager. Hopefully, Heckingbottom will last more than 1 week. Honestly, I'm predicting a bit of a new manager effect here. Luton look rattled now they're in the Championship. I went for them to, go up automatically this season. I thought they'd be in a very good position, but they're really having a poor start. So I'm gonna go for a Preston win. I'm gonna go for Preston to win 2-0. I mean, partly because as well, Luton are going to have their second choice goalkeeper in there because their main goalkeeper is suspended after getting, I don't know if it was 2 yellows and a red or a straight red, but either way, he is suspended for this game. Next up, we've got Sunderland against Burnley, the Championship's runaway leaders in a sense in terms of how many goals are scoring. Sunderland scoring 6 without reply, Burnley scoring 9 with 1 conceded. Beat Cardiff, gave 5-5s to Cardiff, 5-0 victory for them, and obviously the 4-1 win against Luton Town that I mentioned earlier too. Sunderland have won both of their games as well. This is a real form match between 2 sides that are playing very well right now. And you know what? I'm just going to go big. I'm going to go for a draw, but I'm going to go for 3. Let's do it. Let's have a fun game at the Stadium of Light. Why not? Probably many reasons why not, but I'm going for it anyway. And the last game that I'm going to highlight is Norwich City against Sheffield United. Now, I highlight this for a few reasons. Sheffield United looked as though they were going to make it 2 wins from 2 to start the season, but they let a 2-0 lead slip against QPR at home. Norwich, meanwhile, have struggled so far this season, something that their fans kind of saw coming, to be honest, losing on the opening day against Oxford and only managing a draw in their second match of the season. They sit on 1 point. Sheffield sit on 2 points because of their points deduction. They had the start of the season on -2. And I also highlight this game as well because it's been a bit of a grudge match in recent seasons, this one. You wouldn't believe it, but the Canaries and us, because I'm a Sheffield United fan, as you can probably tell by my comment about Wednesday earlier on. Don't come at me, guys. It's just banter, all right? But yeah, there's a bit of a rivalry, really, especially when we're going for promotion to the Premier League and when we were in the Premier League as well. Those matches were always always feisty. You know, the Chris Wilder and who was the old Norwich manager? Daniel Farke. When it was Wilder against Farke, there was all kinds of tomfoolery going on, which I won't get into in this video. But, you know, honestly, my head tells me that, you know, that Sheffield are going to draw this one, I'll be honest. But I've got to back my team. I'm going to go for a 2-1 jam it. Undeserved. We're gonna lose the possession battle. We're not having as many chances. Norwich will probably deserve to win it on paper, but I don't care. On grass, we're winning it 2-1. Back to winning ways. Extend the unbeaten start to the season. If you say it enough, it'll manifest itself, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. So, yeah, guys, those are the 5 matches that I'm looking out for in the English second tier this weekend. Let us know your picks in the comments below. And, of course, subscribe to thefootballchronicle.com to see much more video content on football just like this.